Hey y'all. Of course, I was muted. Good afternoon and welcome to Just a Girl Talk. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone is having an amazing day. Safe out there, staying warm wherever, if you are on the colder part of the country. But yeah, I hope everyone is having a great day thus far. Thank y'all for being here. I want to just first start off by just saying thank you to everyone who has been supporting my channel. It really, really, really means a lot to me. So y'all support means so much to me to see the growth. Yeah, so make sure you guys like this live, share it out, and let's jump on into the conversation. So there's this misconception about my platform or me in general that a lot of women have put out there as if I like hate women and I don't want to see black women win, which is the complete opposite, right? My love and care for black women is why I speak on these things, and it's all for the greater the good. Like it is for a purpose that a lot of women don't understand because they're not used to hearing the truth. They're not used to being told right from wrong or even being able to understand what right and wrong is. And today I want to talk about laying in your bed, right? The bed that you made. And this conversation comes up from um, Queen Naija and the conversation that everything that has been, this has been going on a long time. I feel like with her and her fiance, well, I would say her fiance, her and her boyfriend, um, where like people have been making comments about them not being married. I think last year when they had did like a question and answer, it came up about her saying like if they're not married by uh 10 years, she'll leave and all of that. And for me, I just want us to learn how to, number one, take accountability, and we have to lay in the bed that we make, right? So why I say that is women feel like, oh, you're saying women should just take whatever. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's choices that we make and there's consequences to those actions, right? And I think that yes, Queen Naija wants marriage, but there's a lot of things that her, any other woman, she's just a reference. If you give a man everything, everything, why does he need to marry you, right? When you are caught up in materialistic things, money, uh BBLs, just all of that, where if you're caught up in those things and not caught up on securing your family, it's hard to double back. And that's why I want women to know that it is hard to double back with a man who you did not require anything. I think she was pregnant with her son after like 2 months of messing with this man, meeting him, being with him, like pregnant with a whole child. A whole child. And I'll say this, I know that there is a lot of information out there that, from her past marriage and her past relationship and what she went through, got it. But when you make a choice to not heal yourself, to not do the work on yourself, and you're choosing, in my opinion, she chose that man based on his looks, not his character, not the type of man that she was in a place where she wasn't happy. He was her crush, and she was a woman who was chasing looks. She was operating out of the space like a man, a mother at that. You're just going off of looks. Nothing else mattered. What kind of man is he? What kind of man will he be to my son? What kind of man will he be to me? It was just on looks. So now a lot of women are like, I feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for her. You know why? Because that's the choice that she made. You have to lay in it. I would not, like, people are saying she should leave him and do what? Leave him and break up the family that they created with those two kids? I don't think so. I think they need to stick it out and make it work. Whether they get married or not, stick together. I don't believe that she should leave him. If she says she's happy, if she says, like, if not saying she's not being harmed, she's not being put in danger, her kids seem to be well taken care of, breaking up the family for what? You did all of this without marriage. So now it becomes a point where it ain't about you no more. It's not about you. It's about your kids. It's not about you. So leaving is not an option, in my opinion. But I want to share with y'all because I know a lot of people have been, discussing this. And I think that I don't know how she feels. I can only imagine how she feels to keep seeing this stuff be talked about between her ex-husband and her current boyfriend and that whole back and forth. And she's caught up like she's just in a crossfire. But I do want to share this video with y'all because I do think that every time I see him, I'm just like, Queen, Yeah. Hold on, let's pull
Like
it
we're
up. Let me
happy.
do this. Hold on.
Marry her. I'm gonna marry her when I want to marry her.
Can y'all hear it? Hold on.
I don't know why y'all think that marriage shit bothers niggas. Like we're happy. Marry her. I'm gonna marry her when I want to marry her. Like I'm not gonna get married because y'all telling me to marry her.
Real
Now, but
question
I'm
is,
just
why you
saying.
not engaged to her? That's what we want to know. That's all we want to
But
know.
why
Because she
can't
deserves the ring.
she does this? She deserves more than a ring, Misha. But why?
Exactly. So that's how we want to see that y'all are public figures.
So
Show us
just
that.
just
Prove us
fuck when
wrong.
I'm ready, right? Just fuck me.
You
Like
should be ready.
are you
How
gonna
long has it
do
been?
you put this
Real
now?
question
But I'm
is,
just
why you
saying.
not engaged to her? That's what we want to know. That's all we want to
But
know.
why?
Because
I fucking hate this nigga's voice, bro. I gotta hold on, bro. I gotta turn this shit up in
Let me
order to
pause
hear
it,
this nigga.
y'all. So this is the man you chose. This is the man you chose, right? He'll marry her when he feels like it. And it's so many, we can go into like all the, what does that mean when you feel like it? She deserves more than a ring. All of this stuff is, this is the man that you chose. This is the life that you created, and you now gotta lay in it. You gotta lay in it. The problem in with a lot of people is we try to give people pity and we feel bad for them, and we take away their ability to be accountable. That's what we do. It's like, oh, I feel so bad for you. I feel so sorry for you. Oh my God, I feel so sorry for you. Why? That's a choice. Again, from what I know, she's not being hurt. She's not being, put in danger. Her kids are not. So walking away after 10 years because he didn't marry you would be foolish for your kids. And too often women decide to leave because of what they're not fulfilled and they're not happy. But again, trying to double back, ladies, if you don't, again, and we're talking about um there's so many components, that so many layers that go to this, right? Like when you're younger, obviously maybe a little bit different. You meet your partner, y'all 17, 18 years old. It might be different, right? But I'm talking about when you decide, especially if you've been married already, divorced with a child, you have to be moving different. You cannot keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, especially when you were chasing um what is it, like a temporary thing, very temporary. He says they're happy. Okay, y'all happy? Cool. Cool. I think women just feel like she deserves better. What does that even mean? What does she deserve better mean? What does she deserve better even mean? What does that mean? She goes along with this. So again, people are like, I can't believe she would do that. We often think women are so oblivious, so helpless, so don't know. She knows what's going on. She made this choice. She sat up there, made the TikTok with. I gotta find that TikTok, y'all, where it was a, like, he jokes with her about marriage. He jokes with her. He knows how much she wants to be married. He doesn't care. And if she was the man who doesn't care and obviously doesn't care, why don't we tell women, be accountable, sis? I wish you the best, but feeling sorry for you and saying that you deserve better because I think you do, what's next? We spend too much time trying to um we do all these things out here. We make all these decisions, and then when things don't go the way that we want them to, then we're looking for people to have pity for us. You didn't think things through. You didn't think anything through. Whether he used her for money, whether he using her now for money, all of that stuff, in my opinion, no longer matters. Once you decide to have children and you have two kids now, two different men, you got to stick it out with one of them. You got to make it work, especially from what she went through. I would never tell a woman to stay with anyone who's hurting her physically or anything like that. But if they're happy, Let it be. She has to lay in her bed. And that's what more women need to do. Lay in the bed that you made. Lay in the bed that you made. We cannot save everybody. Like every day, there's another woman out here crying about how she's homeless with 3 kids and she don't got no money. And I feel like every day I see another woman saying that. I just feel like, well, how many? Why y'all all homeless? You lay down and had these babies. Why y'all like that's you gotta lay in that bed. It's not on us to come pay your bills because you made a decision. How does somebody grow if they never have to be accountable for their actions? How? How does someone grow if they never have to be accountable for their actions? If we're always out here saving them, and I'll send you the money, you don't got to do it. I send you a house, you don't got to do it. I hand you a job. You never have to actually feel the consequences of your actions. And at the expense of children. I can give all the sympathy in the world, but empathy, no. Mm-mm. There's a big difference. Sympathy is I can feel your pain from afar and I sympathize with you, sis, but empathy is me involving myself in it. I'm trying to now figure it out for you. No, you got to lay in that bed. And the more that we try to enable our women because we feel like, oh, she deserves it. My question is, who says she deserves to be a wife? Who says that she's even that's the crazy part about it, y'all. Honestly, this man may not see her as his wife. And that's the sad reality. I see her as just this. For whatever reason. I don't know. I have no idea. Or he may not have any intentions to ever be married. I have no idea. But a lot of women feel like a woman just deserves to be a wife. Oh, I just deserve it. What have you done to earn that? That can't be brought. That can't be brought. That's the tough part. I saw the interview I saw before. Hope I can find it. Like, look at this. Let me show y'all this because this is the craziness, y'all. Y'all remember that video? She did an interview and she was like, I do want the ring. Let me find it, y'all. Cause I was just like, she was like, well, he waiting for his clothing line. All the stuff that he's like, this is unfortunately a very gullible woman. Very gullible.
You wish that was you, huh?
Y'all don't hold Queen accountable for nothing.
Y'all see that?
You wish that was you, huh?
Y'all don't hold Queen.
Like, why would I feel sorry? She did that. You understand what I'm saying? She sat down, made the TikTok, watched him post it, saw it happen, engaged in it. So I feel sorry for you when you participate in it. Again, why do I feel sorry? Why are we, what are we doing? What are we doing, y'all? So that's why we got to be very mindful when we out here and we feel like, oh, somebody needs to. I don't feel sorry for. Sorry, y'all. Oh man. As soon as I went to click on and upload and show the video, a different video popped right up. Hold on, let me show you this because. Hold on. Let me show y'all this because it definitely gives us a gimmick.
Keeping God like in your marriage. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, it ain't no rush, but it's not a rush for marriage, but it is like a little rush for like
The ring.
the ring, because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, at least if you propose, then we know where we headed. We've had conversations about it. Like,
Right.
I know that he's going to, but it's like, okay,
6 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes men, they want to get certain things out the way. Like, he wants to put out his clothing line
Mhm.
and keeping guys.
Now, let me say this, right? Let me say this. For many different reasons, different people, right? Relationships, I'll speak for myself. In my marriage, my husband and I believe we would have been married much sooner had we not been caught up on the wedding, right? Not having the money to have a wedding, not necessarily having the money to buy a ring, right? It was caught up in those things because, again, you're younger, you don't have access to all these things, right? But in a different world, when you do have all the money in the world, not all the money, but you have access to these things, there's really nothing stopping us. There's nothing stopping us, right? But excuses, right? And I think the unfortunate side about Queen Naija is she does appear to be such a sweet, understanding person, but you can't play the victim when you allow it. You can't. Because if it was me, we ain't buying no house. I don't care how many cars you want. We ain't getting no car. If it's my money, we ain't getting no car. We're going to be right in this house. I don't care, babe. Don't you think we need a new house? No, I think we need to go get married. We got the money. I think we wouldn't be doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just like I said, who do we hold accountable? Is it all on the man, or is it on the woman to have made better choices a second time around? But that's why it's important for women to know that you cannot allow your heart and your body to control your decision making. I don't know anything about this man. I don't know what kind of man he is to her, or men in general. So I can't say if he's a good or bad person or anything like that. But I think in a grand scheme of things, with everything that comes out and everything that's being said, is it a come up? Did I have a motive? Like, oh, I have been watching her on TV and I know her story and I can do this, and you know what I'm saying? And love built from there. But again, I know I don't really have the intentions to go as far as she might want me to. But as I said, her leaving, because if he doesn't marry her, I think that would be so unfortunate for her children. It would be so unfortunate for her children. So we just, again, like I said, we got to learn to lay in our bed. We have to learn to be accountable, and you can't just drop out. But there's this idea for us as women. I'm not staying nowhere where I'm not happy. Where you're not happy, you ain't gonna always be happy, sis. You're not gonna always be happy. You get less happy after year 10 of not being married. Like it can't be that bad. If you didn't roll, if you saying that I will leave if it's year 10, what changed from year 10 in one day? You went 10 years without the ring. What's another 10? What's another 10? That's how I see it. We pick and choose what we won't deal with, but again, our kids suffer. And when you become a mother, you got to make certain decisions and you got to lay in it. When you be like you have to. But we too often, especially in the Black community, we give so much grace and we want to feel so sorry for people, and it's like, no, nope. That woman who came online crying about the whole her couldn't pay her rent and couldn't pay daycare, and she got 3 kids and 3 baby dad. I don't feel sorry for you. I'm sorry. Feeling sorry for you is why you are where you at. That's the problem. Feeling sorry for you is the reason that you're where you're at, because everybody in your life has felt sorry for you and have never made you be accountable for your actions. That's what feeling sorry for people can do. Because some people gonna go and they're gonna get up and do it, and other people are gonna just sit there and make excuses and come online crying and begging for help. because we leech onto that. That's how we trauma bond. Well, I feel sorry for her because I'm a single mom too. So I'ma just, I'ma help because I can only imagine. Let me share this other because this one right here, y'all, took the kicker. It's the kicker because this is another thing where we got lay in our bed and we don't want to, or we try to deflect and take it all off of us.
I just want to say this one thing. Don't ever think that it can't be you, that you could never be a single mom, because God will humble you real quick. I just want to say this one thing. Don't ever think that it can't be you, that you could never be a single mom, because God will humble you real quick.
So let me say this first, right? God, in my opinion, God does not humble us to make our life worse. What God does, in my opinion, once again, is allow us to see how much we need him and we need to depend on him and trust him. But to say that God is going to humble me and make me a single mom that's not the God that I serve. The thing about it is these comments, right? The comments are what's wild, right? Marriage won't protect it. Being single mom is definitely real too. Yep, that's why I can't have kids. I'll never say never. It won't be me, but I do know if I decide to have kids, I will solely be because I want them. Big facts. I'm separated and divorced, and I got a 2-year-old and a 2-month-old. Never in a million years I thought I was gonna be a single mom. The question comes down to, how did you get there? How do we get here? That we get to feel, because this is a single mom, right? A single mom who didn't probably make the best choices, ignored the red flag, and now you don't want to lay in your bed, fully lay in your bed. You want to take it like, don't, well, I didn't know. A lot of times we do know, y'all. We just don't take accountability. Nothing in life is guaranteed. Nothing. But when you make better choices, you have a higher chance of it working out. Women are laying down with men that they don't know. Men who showed you from the get-go who he was. But yet you still decided to have his kids, and now you want everybody to feel bad for you because you didn't know. You did know. You did know. And it's so disgusting, y'all, because let me pull it back up. It's so disgusting, y'all, because it's women in here who are married, very true, married or not, doesn't matter. Somebody was like, oh, even to the married girls, make sure y'all know, tell them please, real quick facts. So true, exactly. My question is, out of all of these comments, out of 217 comments of women saying, say it louder, amen, 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 real ish. God doesn't, someone did say, God doesn't have to humble the majority of them. They make the decisions to destroy their own homes. Exactly. That is the point that I want to make. We have the free range to make a choice. That was not God who made that choice for you. You made that choice. You decided to walk away. You decided to end the relationship or not pay attention, and now you have to face the consequences. So to put it on God as if it wasn't your choice is the problem that, again, takes away from the accountability. Well, God humbled me. No. That was a choice that you made. That was a choice that you made. We have full access to our bodies, and we're not talking about anything that is happening, non-consensual. We're talking about full consensual, interactions with people. But again, the argument is just, well, just so you know, don't never say, and that's the comments that I get in my comments all the time. Well, don't never say never. Your husband might leave you. Why? That's just a way to make yourself feel better about your poor decision making. That's what people do. You feel your decision making was so poor that now you want to make sure everybody know that you can never be nothing's gonna stop you from being a single mom. Nothing stops you from getting into a car accident, nothing stops you from getting into a plane accident, nothing stops you, but we still do it. We still do it. And like I said, I think that this is another way to remove ourselves away from taking accountability, laying in the bed that we made. There are things you can do to have a higher chance of preventing some of these things. There are things we can do, but when we talk about this stuff, women are like, it don't matter, it can happen anyway. It's like, okay, I'm trying to tell you things that you can, if you go left, you'll get there quicker. You'll get there the correct way. But if you go right, it's going to be obstacles, it's going to be bumps. Which way do you want to choose? What way do you want to choose? Because back then, right, the people been married for a long time, the Denzels, the Angela Bassett, they've been with their husbands 20, 30 years. They did something right. They had made certain decisions that would lead them to be with the man for 30 years. People have been married 50, 60 years. They were doing something right. You know? Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, the hate is definitely real, you know what I'm saying? But we have to do better. You know, we just have to keep on, because again, people want to stop the message and hide from the truth. You know, hide from the truth. I appreciate y'all for being here and you know, engaging in my content. It definitely means a lot to me. That's why, you know, I wanted to just emphasize that people have this misconception that my content is hateful and it's mean and it's this and it's that. And it's like, no, I'm trying to put you onto game to let you know these are the things that you want to pay attention to. You want to pay attention to certain things. You want to not allow your body and money to be the thing that is driving your decision making. So sorry for your loss, but that is a beautiful, beautiful thing to have that as your inspiration. You know, that is amazing. But again, like I said, the idea is, if you're not saying what people want to hear, and like I said, some people might disagree. They might feel like Queen Naija should leave him, and because that's the idea. We're not thinking about our family. We're not thinking about the family. We're not thinking about our children in totality. We say we are, like, I'm thinking about my kids. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because if you were thinking about your kids, you would have been much more choosy. And even like people talk about how the way that she was, and this is not to drag her or anything like that, but the way that she was moving as a mother in somebody else's basement and you spending the night there for weeks at a time and your kids somewhere else. Again, you were purely operating out of lust. You somewhere in somebody's basement having sex every day, getting pregnant by your child somewhere else. We have to do better. We have to do better. We can't keep making excuses. We can't keep lying to ourselves. We can't keep trying to get pity, because the pity keeps you further away from growth. It keeps you further and further away from growth. It keeps you further away from, you know, being a woman that you want to be. Be accountable. There's nothing wrong with taking accountability. It is the best thing for you. It is so beneficial to be accountable. It is so helpful to be accountable. I know it's easier said than done because, people are, you've never had to do it. You never had to do it. So it's so much easier said than done. I know that. But it's first, give it a try. Give it a try. If more of us just sat in our stuff and stop trying to run from it and stop trying to point the fingers, I think there could be a elevation can be so much different. If you just sat in your stuff. If you just sat in your stuff. That's what's most important. Sit in your stuff. Stop running from it. Stop, hiding from your truth and face the consequences. Face the consequences. You know? I'm going on 22 years of marriage, best choice for me, but how dare I be happy and fulfilled? I say anything positive about marriage and relationship. I'm like, yeah. True. That is very true. Very, very true. And it sucks. It's so unfortunate that you can't even say these things. You can't even be honest about what, how marriage is. And that's why I always feel like women are like, focus on your marriage. It's like, y'all don't want to hear anything positive. Y'all don't want to hear anybody talk about anything positive. Y'all don't. Y'all don't. Y'all really don't. Because anytime we talk about something positive, they find a way to hate on it. They find a way to, to make you feel bad about making good choices. And the favorite line is, oh, wow, you must want better for other people because you have deep-rooted trauma and you hate Black people, you hate Black women, and all of that stuff just to derail the conversation. That's it. That's it, y'all. That is it. So when you go against the grain and you say, ladies, stand up for yourself. Stop looking for pity. Stop looking for sympathy. Face your consequences. They're like, oh my God, you're the worst person in the world. It's like, no, I'm just a person who I want women to be survivors, not victims. Right? You're not a slave. Let's stop being victims. Let's be survivors, and let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. But trying to stay stuck in a victim mentality and looking for people to give you, waiting for somebody to tell you that you're great versus telling you the truth is the problem. That is a problem. The slave thing is just another way to deflect. Honestly, just another way to deflect from the conversation, to deflect from being accountable. That's where the slave thing comes from. Well, I don't know. I didn't know no better. What we went through 400 years ago. That's the same rhetoric over and over and over again. It's a way to deflect the conversation. That's what it is. Blaming slavery is a way for these women to just deflect and not be accountable for their actions. They blame their grandmoms. They blame my grandma was getting beat up. Girl, what they got to do with you and your baby daddy? What they got to do with you? What does slavery have to do with you? It's a deflection tactic. It's a way to not be accountable. So it's like I said, when I see the negativity, and this is just women in general, but when I see it happening, it's like, again, if you want to be a victim, if you want to be told that life is, great, living a wild life, cool, do your thing, but be prepared for the consequences. Be prepared for the consequences. One thing I'm very aware of, and the man who said this earlier about someone making a live about me, the more people get their platforms bigger, they will use you to grow their platform to derail the conversation. I'm sure that because, that is going to come back up and they'll start that again. But they're going to use you to derail the conversation. Because they know in reality, if I already said that and thought what she's saying is not, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just we want to live our lives this way. We don't want nobody telling us that we're wrong. We don't want anybody to make us be held accountable. So it's a hard pill to swallow, y'all. It's a hard pill to swallow. The truth hurts for a lot of people. If you've never been used to being told the truth, if you've been, you finally found out what's really happening. So it hurts. I get it. It's like finding out your mom was lying to you all your life. Oh my God, that's crushing. Oh my God, I can't imagine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just have to know that for me, even for me, I speak for myself. I have to lay in the bed that I made when I decided to create this content, that there are going to be women who are going to be mean, evil, nasty, hateful. I have to now lay in that. And I can either sit and cry in a ball, or I can combat it and keep going and not give in. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the thing where when you make a choice, like it's nothing, there's nothing you can do. But you got to know your purpose, your reason, and yeah, I just think, like I said, if more of us were able to just be accountable, if more of us were able to have better people in our lives and not have a bunch of women come together to lie to each other and tell you that you're great and you're amazing and all the things that, and you could very much be a great person, right? You just keep making very dumb decisions. I think that there are a lot of good men out here, y'all. Oh my God, Britt, yes. He gonna back and forth online about you with your child father for money and views. What kind of man does that? What kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how you make your money off of us. Off of again, lay in the bed. Lay in your bed. I would be so like, it would be no way. I would be like, no, that's not what we're doing. We're not doing that. We're not stooping to his level. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We are not doing it, sir. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not doing it. Highlight and monetize the worst parts of the Black community. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I really hate that I hate that for us. I really hate that for us. I do. So we got to figure out, again, there's children. There's children. There's babies involved. What kind of man who's a father will sit online and say things, that my stepson, my bonus child can get a hold of me talking about his dad or his mom, or how I marry when I feel like it, about my mom. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Not all women should be mothers. No, they shouldn't. I think that there are good men and good women out here. I do believe that. I think that a lot of women don't want the good men. They don't want him. He's too boring. He don't make enough money. So when you decide to go for the other guy, it don't work out, you gotta lay in that bed, sis. You gotta lay in that bed. You chose to ignore the other guy who was clearly a better option for you. You chose to just say, forget him. So now you gotta lay in your bed. You gotta lay in that bed. That's the moral of the conversation, y'all. You gotta lay in that bed. Because it's yours. Get comfortable. Get up every day and do your best. But when kids are involved, if you ain't got no kids, do your thing. Do your thing. Walk away. Leave it what you came with. But 9 times out of 10, most of these people have children involved. And again, just so I can clarify, I'm not talking to any woman who is in an abusive situation, being harmed and danger, and her kids. We're not talking about that. I will never tell a woman to stick through that. Never. Ever, ever, ever. But if you're not, yes, fluff them pillows. Fluff them. Get comfortable. So, I don't know. All we can do is, keep on pushing. Use these people as reference, especially if you are a young woman and you don't have kids, and don't get caught up in the looks. Don't get caught up in these people's looks, their money. Look at their character. Look at the character. He had a woman come out and talked about how he just ditched her. For like, she was 1 minute she was in the basement, next minute he just ditched her. Now you on YouTube with another woman. Huh? Same for this too, right? Like I said, could he see her as his wife? He might be on the tip like, you was married and you was talking to me while you was still a married woman. So I'll be with you, but I would never make you my wife, because how I know you wouldn't do that to me. That could literally be how the man could be thinking. I ain't gonna forget that you was still a married woman when you was DMing me and reaching out to me. You were a married woman at that time, living at home with your husband. I don't care if you was downstairs and he was upstairs. You were, so for a man, I could do all the things for you, but make you my wife, please? Because what makes me think you wouldn't do it to me? That's how some men think. Now, I'm not saying that's what he's thinking. I don't know, but I'm just saying, if I look at all the things, my wife, yeah, sure. I ain't gonna. I'm not. I'm that. I ain't forget. I ain't forget. I ain't forget. So I don't know. Like I said, Why he hasn't married her or why he has no desire to marry her, who knows? I don't know. I don't got the answers for that. But the point of it is, if he doesn't marry her, baby, that sweet baby got to stick it out with that man. She got to stick it out with that man for the sake of them kids. Well, y'all, that's my, chit chat of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Yeah, like making you a wife after you cheat on your husband. Some men can see past and some men can't. For men, is a different level of respect and integrity and all of that, morals. Like that makes me question, like like I said, how do I know you won't do it to me? How do I know you won't do it to me is how we should be thinking as women. I'm looking at your track record, So, thank you. Yeah, y'all. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we gotta stop ignoring the track record, y'all. But again, when you caught up on money and looks, because she was like, "Oh my God, he was my Instagram crush." Girl, what? What? So you ready to bust it open wide for that crush? Bust it open wide for that crush. Your body was leading. So, ladies, please be mindful. Be cautious. You do have control. You have control. Stop making excuses. Stop looking for a way out and own your part and go from there. Stop pointing the fingers. It ain't all on him. It is not all on him because you allowed it and people do what you allow. If you don't teach people how to treat you, they will do whatever they want to do. So teach people how to treat you and set that standard up front. Okay. So thank y'all so much for tapping in to the conversation. Go check out my latest episode of Just a Girl Talk that dropped yesterday. I would love for you guys to check that out and share your thoughts. And stay tuned for more content to be dropping very soon. Be sure again to like the live, share it out for anyone who might have missed this that you feel like needs to hear it. And I will be back to talk to you guys soon. Again, happy Tuesday. Everyone be safe, stay warm, and talk to you guys soon. Bye. See y'all.